watching for great deals that are happening throughout the weekend every day, and we are going to let you know about one-day only sale prices. But right now, let's talk about the geraniums, the 3 pieces that we're going to get, and 1,300 ordered this season. Oh my word. Devin Wallin is here to give us a guided tour of the geraniums and how to plant them and how to get the most out of them.
Yeah.
Welcome back, sir.
Hey David, how you doing?
I'm well, thank you. Nice to have you here. This is lovely. Is this one plant?
No, this is actually all 3 from the collection in one large container. Now, David, we all love geranium, but most of us recognize a geranium as an annual plant that you have to buy each and every year.
Right.
And it looks good for the summer, but that's all. What we have are the gardener's best friend, because these are winter hardy geraniums. You buy them once, you plant them once, and they come back year after year after year.
The technical term is perennial.
Exactly.
So that means it comes back every year. Do we have to cut them back in the fall?
I like to cut them back in the springtime, you know, and allow them to revitalize and refresh. But what I love about these hardy geranium, David, is how versatile these are. These can be grown just about anywhere. One of my favorite areas to plant them, you know, most of us by our front door, maybe we have a couple of shrubs and a nice bed of mulch. This is the perfect plant to put along that front little garden bed, along your walkways, in rock gardens, at the front of your borders, because they produce this wonderful, lovely sort of mounded growth, but then flowers like this for 6 to 7 months every year.
There's a unique growing guide written for this. And are you still writing the
I am, and as a horticulturalist, I make sure all of that information is perfect.
And so it's like having one of the Wallin family members in your garden holding your hand while you're planting, and that is really important. So don't throw this paperwork away. It's uniquely written for the plants. Now, we're receiving 3 of these.
Yes, so here's one of your 3. Now, all of our plants have been grown over the course of the winter. They've been vernalized, which means they've gone through that winter, and that's what allows them to produce flowers right away. You can see a flower here, and then all of these flower buds that are coming along. And what's so great about these plants is that they start to bloom in the late spring, around middle of May, and they will go all the way until your first frost. So imagine having a few of these collections. You'll have nonstop color like that for 6 to 7, maybe even 8 months or more, depending on where you live.
And these will grow everywhere in the country. Now, do you recommend containers, in the ground, or both?
I actually love them in the ground, because in the ground, you know, right there you can see that's kind of the front of the border. That's probably 3 plants. Now, they get about 15 inches tall, but about 24 inches around. So this is going to replace the need for your mulches, and it's going to fill those garden beds out with this luxurious, beautiful plant life, and then gorgeous, rich colors like that for months every single year.
Now, it's also important to know that this is drought tolerant, so that means it can go for a long amount of time without water.
Exactly.
And does it like full sun or part sun?
So it will love the full sun all the way to the half sun. It's a winter hardy perennial down to about -30 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's one of those plants that you're going to just plant anywhere, and it's going to fill out those garden spaces that are typically kind of blank, empty, void spaces. This is the plant to put in those areas. And look how gorgeous it fills out. Now, you're going to get a few different colors in every collection. And these plants, they were actually hybridized and bred by one of the world's preeminent geranium breeders, Marco van Noort, over in the Netherlands. And we're close friends with him, and that's why we're able to bring you guys these awesome plants at such a great value.
Well, and there's a picture of your uncle, and is that the gentleman you're talking about?
That's Marco, yep. In his garden over in Holland.
Oh my, these are lovely plants. They're easy to grow. If you live in an apartment or a condo, you can put these in containers, yes?
Absolutely, and look how gorgeous they are in a container. They have this sort of mounded, overflowing growth habit. Now the foliage, it's thick. It's dense, it's gonna stifle those weeds, and it creates this beautiful sea of rich colors of purples and pinks and mauves and violets, starting in your late summer, and then it's gonna continue all the way till your first or second frost.
Now, you recommend the time-release plant food fertilizer?
I do, yeah, the time-release food, it's super easy to use. I think I actually accidentally put a bag of the Bounty.
I think so, the Bounty.
But the time release is great because you just sprinkle it on to the soil when you get your plants planted, and that provides all of the nutrients that they need for the course of the season.
How often should we feed them?
Well, with the time release, I would do it once or twice during the course of the year, and that's it.
That's all.
That's all. That's what we love about these geraniums, and that's why I call them the gardener's best friend, because they're true workhorses in the garden. They do a ton of work with very minimal effort.
Now, this time release fertilizer is $33.
Yeah.
You only use a little bit of it.
Worth every bit.
And you use it maybe a couple times in a year, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of like your insurance policy. It's going to give your plant all the nutrients it needs while you're, sleeping.
It's also a resealable bag. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
going to be very, very helpful as you are